Reliance is not a luxury. For a Muslim, it is a necessity. It's clear, isn't it? Just as there is the sun, it is said that there is also light, my dear. Just as there is the sun, it is said that everywhere is bright. We call this necessity. If the sun exists, there must be light. If the sun is present, it is necessary everywhere to be illuminated. If one has faith, Allah is not a luxury to rely on. In the face of events, it is necessary. But unfortunately, we do not truly know Allah, the exalted and glorious. When I see people who elaborate on the details of their work in such a grand way, and then I notice them struggling a bit, when it comes to faith in our next topic, it makes me very sad every time. Why am I saying why? Why do I say there is so much difference towards Allah, who created everything and runs the system of the universe? We cannot truly believe in Allah, the exalted and glorious. We can't truly feel it in our hearts. We think we believe. Unfortunately, that's why when a calamity strikes us, fear surrounds us everywhere. I wish fear we experience only remained in this world. If that reliance is not manifesting this world for you, you won't receive reward of that faith in the grave. You won't be able to understand. I'm trying to remove the idea that reliance is a luxury from people's minds. Trust in God is not a luxury. It is a matter of faith. It is a necessity. We need to really get this issue sorted out. Now here, you realize what the topic is? Reliance, but not here constantly. I find myself having to talk about faith in Allah. Without Him, reliance comes impossible. So our problem lies in the construction of our faith, right here. In terms of faith, we remain as followers. What does that mean? It's like inheriting land from our grandfather. We have inherited a faith from our ancestors, the past. Please pay attention to the sentence. We haven't built each and every piece of faith ourselves. We haven't built it. We haven't made the issue of believing in angels a priority and built it up. The issue of believing in the afterlife is the one that the Quran emphasizes the most. It emphasizes the most. We haven't set aside time to prioritize this and build it piece by piece. We haven't made the issue of prayer, which is a subtopic of the pillars of faith, a priority and built it piece by piece. We have inherited a faith, inheriting land from our ancestors, but we aren't even aware of what we have received. Now, can we pay attention to this? Many scholars of Al-Sunnah say that they say we do not accept imitative faith. Isn't it terrifying? So if a person hasn't built the individual components of their faith themselves, hasn't based each one on specific evidence, and hasn't evaluated that faith in terms of causality and cause and effect relationships, many scholars of Al-Sunnah say that they do not accept that imitative structure as faith. Now, let me say, God knows best. Let me move on to a negative scenario. This event, thus, we have inherited a faith from our ancestors, from the past. We haven't built any of the building blocks. Let's direct all our attention and focus to the affairs of the world. We're all managing the country, right? We've directed all our attention to the affairs of the world. We have given it to our home, to our spouse, to our child. God, you know, we learned that lesson since childhood. Consider that person as someone who prays. They claim, this isn't the faith Allah desires. You are judged as a praying infidel. How can that be? I mean, judgment they stamp on you is that you're a praying infidel. God forbid. How is it going to be? Do you think this will not happen? So will we not come across an unbeliever praying in the grave one day? Allah protect us all. So can't this, God forbid, strike someone whose faith is merely imitative? So our problem, the inability to withstand events, these panic attacks, these anxieties, and the breakdown of our psychology, if only it were just limited to this world. This also shows that this faith is problematic, and that problematic faith will shape the grave and the afterlife in this way. The issue will extend into eternity. This shows that this faith is problematic, and that problematic faith will shape the grave and the afterlife in this way. The topic will go on forever. I wish it would just stay in this world. We're trying to suppress the wound of the soul, the problem of meaning, with 2 material medications and just get through the day. I wish it would just stop there. Is it staying? It's not staying, because this state of reliance is not a luxury. There are Muslims, but aren't any good ones. Of course, my dear. No, that's not it. If there is faith, the next thing that should come is the issue of reliance. I will read it from the text shortly. But let me remind you of this again. Some of the scholars of Al-Sunnah say that we do not accept imitation as part of faith, and Imam Azam Abu Hanifa is one of them.